So this is Team Lowenburg Sprint3 software demo. I'm going to go over some of the tasks, all of the tasks and user stories of Sprint3 that we completed. Okay, so first, user story 97, which was performed by Connor, task 124, 98, 122, 135. That is the Gradle. So we got our Gradle build to run our different tests, and those tests are running and working. Okay, so on to user story 42. As a user, I want to be able to see the different available tours to book. Tasks 99 and 136. Connor also worked on that task, and I can show you that right here. As a user, I want to be able to see the different available tours to book. So there's a couple ways to do that. We have, you can view our tours here after they've been added. Just add something. And we'll add that new tour and it'll show up here. You can also see them on our calendar function. Once tours get added, 4/29 on that date and date, you will see them show up on our calendar. Okay, so that is user story 50 or user story 42, which was worked on by Connor. User story 50, which was worked on by Steven. As a user, I don't want to see features that are not needed for the bus tour. I'm sorry, that was not worked on by Steven. That was worked on by Nick. Nick completed task 101, 102, 105, 104, and 106. So basically, we removed all of the functions over on the left pane that weren't necessary for the scheduling software for our Clown Tour Bus system. So on to user story number 53, I want to be able to add load nodes from a JSON file. So this was part of creating routes. So we want to create routes. We want to load nodes. Load nodes. We can go to the file, the node file, select it. I don't have it handy. I already have one loaded, and then we can once we do that, we can view, or we can map the route, so we can see it over here. And it's obviously not coming out perfect, but there it is. And then we can view the routes that have been added through here. Okay, so that was user story number 53, worked on by Nick as well. User story 95, as a user, I want to be able to see on the calendar all the different tours booked for each day. That was worked on by Steven, and he did a great job. You can select on days. We don't have any on the 29th. You can see the different tours right here. We have two tours, the Welk tour and the Clown tour, and they have been booked, and that is on the calendar function. That was worked on by Steven, is user story number 52. That included Steven and Nick, or user story 95. That was worked on by Steven. As a user, I want to be able to see on the schedule how long a bus will be on tour, and that goes back to our calendar function where we can see the tours, and on there is a field to see the start time of the tour, and each tour has a duration. Okay. Okay, so that's user story number 58. User story number 52, shortest path through all nodes of a route. That algorithm was created by Stuart, that's me, and Nick helped with the implementation and the creation of that algorithm as well. That again is done on the route panel, and that is done once the file is loaded, the JSON file is loaded, it is then sorted and returned as the shortest path of nodes, so it can be used in a route. And that was user story number 52. User story number 47. As a user, I want to be able to select a bus and view its schedule. That was worked on by Derek, and those included tasks 115, 116, 117, 126, and 129. So that will be done on the bus panel. Bus name, number of seats, add bus, and then now, once a bus is scheduled, we can actually see that bus's identifier on the calendar, so we know when it is scheduled. That is user number story 47, and that was done by Derek. User story number 49. As a user, I want to be able to select a driver and view their schedule again. So this is done in the driver panel. We want to edit driver. Once they are saved, it's not actually, I might not be able to be doing this right here. Sorry. I have to go back to that one. I'm not sure. I didn't work on that. That could be a mistake on my part. All right, user story number 44, our last user story of this sprint. I want to be able to see the different routes for the tours, and that's going to be done here on the route button, and then we're going to be able to see all the different routes for the tours here in the text field. Okay, that's the end of Sprint 3 code demo. I'm going to answer a few questions here. So, an overview how you think you did in the overall project. Overall, I think we did. We turned a piece of software that was meant for one thing into another, and I think we were pretty successful with the time frame we had. Given more time, I think we need to be more polished, but I think it's pretty functional for what the requirements meant. Am I satisfied with the results? I would have liked to see a little bit more improvement in the UI and some of the functions I would like to see improved upon. But overall, I think what we did with the time we had is pretty impressive. What could we have done better as a team? I think we could have probably set our deadlines a little bit more, have more accountability for user stories and testing. I think we should have implemented some type of testing so we would have less conflicts. What would you do differently if you would start over? I think differently. I think we'd organize our user stories so tasks in those specific user stories didn't blend with other user stories. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, that seemed to be an issue in all of our sprints. The Future Generator 316 students, I would say start early. Start early. It's a lot of stress. You have a project, you have your assignment, you have a lot. The earlier you can start on everything, the better off you're going to be. All right, that is the Sprint 3 Lowenburg group software demo. Thank you, and good night.